everybody. Just in from getting the haircut, and I seem to get a lot of my downloads whilst I'm driving, and today it feels very much like a forgiveness day. Now I know a lot of people struggle with forgiveness, and there's just no budging them with that, and essentially we are where we are on our journey, on our path, and I don't want anybody to feel as though they need to beat themselves up about that. What they're giving me is that we are where we are, and it's okay. It's all okay. Essentially, our aim is to get through the other side and have forgiveness. And it is hard. I mean, I have 3 significant events in my whole life, this life, to get me to where I am today. And it was probably the hardest step to conquer, but I have. And it is doable if you want to face it. You don't have to face it if you don't want to. It'll all be when you exit this world, there's what they call a review of your soul contract that you came in to do. And essentially everybody involved in whatever situation you can't find forgiveness for happened. And I know this is another contention too out there, is that it did happen for a reason. Everything happened for us, for you, not to you, it's for you. And that sometimes is a hard pill to swallow as well. But everything in this world happens for a reason. We may not know what that reason is at the time, but it is definitely for a reason. We may not find out that reason until years later down the track, but it happened for a reason. We may never find out until we actually exit this world and we have that review. And then the penny may drop. It will definitely drop because we have a greater perception of everything on the other side, and it's all wrapped up in unconditional love. You know, if we can get to that point here on this earth, then everything will be better. Everything does become better when you drop all that forgiveness, like all that stuff, and get into the forgiveness in your heart for anything or anyone. Now, and I'm talking about big stuff, like I'm talking about abuse, sexual abuse. It's the same. It all happened for us. Yes, I know some people can't get around that. And yes, there is also what we called human law. And yes, it should not have happened in that energy. But on a soul contract energy, for some reason, it was planned for us to either grow from, evolve from, or pay back some karmic debt. I know this is tough stuff. I know it can be. But please, it can be done. And once you let that go, and have an understanding around soul contracts, to get a good understanding around soul contracts, you will understand. It will become clear to you. But for whatever reason today, somebody out there needs to hear this. And I've always asked to touch on this subject because I have gone through it. I have come out the other side. my analogy, or my what I was given actually, was when it first started, my sexual abuse was all the, like I was like, you know, when little Snow White, all the animals come out of the forest to talk to her. Well, all those little animals went back and retreated into the forest, like my childhood was over. Now, not so long ago, a couple of months ago, I was actually shown the forest, that I was actually on the other side and I was surrounded by the little animals again. It was like complete circle. Now, to go through that forest, I had to navigate my way through that forest. It's just a metaphor about life, struggling life. And this happened when I was like 12, 13. I'm now 53, so it doesn't happen overnight. But it does get better as you start to confront it. And it didn't happen for a lot of years, the healing of that afterwards. So once you start to delve deep into that and understand the soul contracts, that this soul group that we come in with, or that we come in and play a part in that scenario, like my whole soul family was a part of that, and the roles that they had to play. And yes, there was things that maybe they had to learn from me too. Did they learn them? I don't know. Do we ever know? Is it up to us to know what others learn from their soul contracts? I don't think so. I think mainly we need to focus on ourselves first, and really, haven't we got enough to do just to look at our own stuff, our own baggage? But I can tell you, when you come out the other side, it is so much better. Now, the path for me for that was many, many things. And if you start to listen to your body and to listen to yourself, you will be guided to where you need to go. Like after that initial, all my teenage years being abused, then the next big major trauma was losing my firstborn in 2002. And then through that was the next major one, was like in, I think it was 2016, something like that, where I met my false twin flame, and owning everything in that as well. I don't blame him for anything. I don't blame the other person for anything. I actually, going through that, I had my eyes open, because I just felt in my being that I had a lot to learn. And yes, I had a lot to learn, and I learned a lot. Through each 3 major events, I learnt loads. But we have to, especially the false twin flame, have to own your part in it. I owned my part in that. You know, was it wrong to go? No, nothing of this was wrong. There's no wrong or right. It just is what it is, because it was planned. It's what we asked for. Now, I know, why would you ask for a baby to be only here for 2 days and then to go? Why would, why? But over the time, coming through and having readings, healings, I even went down the road of seances, which I highly recommend for anybody, and I do not wish any ill intent with that, because I know some people aren't easy with seances because of Hollywood and how they've portrayed seances. It was nothing like that. It was more like going to a clairvoyant or a medium. But it was more powerful because it was the way it was conducted. I went to professionals to do it, and it is most extraordinary experience, and I have healed so much through going to them, even down to the abuse. A stepfather has stepped through many times with apologies and openness and unconditional love from all of them. Even my dad's over there, they're all together. Yes, my stepfather didn't have a very good time when he got on the other side. He had to do a lot of healing himself from the whole thing because he was a broken person as well. You just wake up one day and become a pedophile. You know, it doesn't happen like that. He was broken. There's no excuse though for it. But were they meant to heal? Was that the generation that was meant to heal? I don't know. I look at the generation of that era and my all my parents' generation. Were that the era to heal? I feel this is the major healing point in my generation and then beyond. And as we heal them. And as they heal on the other side, we heal as well. We do healing for our ancestors. It falls through. Now, the other major thing that I went through to heal was kinesiology. Unbelievable. I cannot explain the experiences with these to the point to give it justice. But I highly recommend it for anybody that is struggling with anything, whether it's abuse, child loss, false twin flames, whatever the situation is that you're aching in your heart about, or you're paining, or you've got pain, or you're just struggling with anything, there are avenues for you. And if you go to one and it doesn't resonate and it doesn't fit with you, try another one. There's plenty out there. Not every person you will sit in front of is going to be for you. Not everybody. That's why we all offer different things. That's why we're all different in our own way. We're all uniquely here to help with the healing of the planet, the human race, to bring that gap of division from whatever camp, So if you go to kinesiology and you're not liking the person that's there, find another kinesiologist or psychologist or whatever it is, even doctor. Same thing. If you don't resonate, I was lucky enough to actually have the right people put in place for me, and it took time. And be committed when you get exercises to do at home, like, maybe you need to drink more water and have like a crystal in it or something like that. Whatever they've given you, be committed to that and go through it, the process. And you will be guided to what you need. Like, it will be just simple as, we're all on our phones. It will come up. Kinesiology came up about not having to have medication every day. And I thought that was great because I wasn't a big fan of medication. And through the operations I've had, I was supposed to be on multivitamins, all this, and then iron tablets and rah, rah, rah. I don't take any tablets today. I don't need any tablets. Couldn't tell you the last time I went to a GP, which is a nice relief because all those years through there, I was going off to the GP all the time. But forgiveness was the biggest one, and I know people do struggle with that. But it is freeing. It is definitely freeing. And I hold nothing but love and unconditional love for everybody that was involved, for everybody, every single person. Every person. whether they're still with us or whether they're not. I don't blame anybody. I do not blame myself. I have forgiveness for myself, for the whole lot. It is a good place to be. So, yeah, that come in very, very strong. And a lot of times I do get downloads and I don't really do too much. I may write a few things, but this was very much pushed today to get this message out because there are people struggling, you know, and it will work for you if you're committed and you really want to face the demons that's within. And we all have dark and we all have light. I see both in everybody. Some may be smaller than others in the difference, like it may not be balanced. That's okay. I try to talk to the higher self of everybody to help them on their path. Now, every session that I've ever done in helping people to heal is different because it's all uniquely designed by Source for that individual that's sitting in front of me. I am just the conduit, you know, like the secretary that is just delivering the messages to you to help you with whatever you need at that time. It was the same when I went to kinesiology. I never knew what the session was going to hold, but I always walked out lighter and more freer and much closer to my healing than I'd ever been. One session will get you closer, and if it's all you can manage, I used to go every fortnight in the beginning. That's how bad I was. And then it was down to every month, and I was only doing Uber. And for whatever reason, that money always found its way there so I could pay for these sessions because it was where I was meant to be. If you open yourself up and say, yes, this is what I need, this is what I'd like to do, this is where I need to go, this feels right, the material, the wealth, the money will come in to pay for it because it's meant to be. It's all meant to be. We all get caught up in, oh, I won't be able to pay for that. But I looked at it this way. So basically my fees were $130 a month and I divided that by 4. So what's whatever that is. Maths is not my strong point. I'm working on it and never been my strong point. So, and I just thought, well, aren't I worth that? Aren't I worth like $30 a week? You know, I didn't really go anywhere. I don't go out. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do my nails. Like, there's nothing wrong with anybody that does that. I don't want anyone to get triggered over that. And if you get triggered, it's another topic that they're pushing as well. Triggering. If you get triggered by what somebody says online or anywhere, look at it. Look at yourself and go, hey, why did I just get triggered about that? What is it with me that's got like sent me off and had a reaction about that? Whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. But a lot of people are always venting their stuff on other people and, oh no, you shouldn't do it that way because this is how it should be done. You know, look at yourself. It says more about you than anybody else. But my advice and what I have done, hopefully it will help you. Whoever needs to hear this, it's all I'm here to help. I'm here to make things better. That's exactly what alchemy is. I'm here to make things better, to make the world better. So we can all live in heart center. So this world can be a better place. It's as good as what you make it. It is. You know, I love life. Like, even though it's just the boys and I mainly, and a few friends, the rest of the family's not around, not here. They're 2 suburbs away, but you know, for whatever reason, it's not, this wasn't meant to be. It was all closed out because that was part of the plan. Doesn't mean I don't love them any less or any more. They just love them. That's it. They're still my family, and they'll always be my family. And when we exit the world and go to the other side and we see each other again, there's going to be, you know, again, unconditional love. So, yeah, much love to everybody. Like, I know that a lot of people are struggling. I do sense it. I'm here to help. I truly am. Speak to you soon. Bye.